Hello and welcome to Black Bear Atheist. Today we're going to the channel That Time Devo Mama. Objective lesson on trusting God that your kids will beg to do again. So since this is more of a kid video, I'm gonna keep it PG-13, or at least try. Let's get into the video.
It's hard for kids to trust an invisible God. Let's be honest, it's hard for adults to trust an invisible God too. Here is a great object lesson you can use to help your kids understand what trusting God is like, and a book to show you why God is worthy of our trust.
Get the kids away, people. Get the kids away.
Hi, I'm Christy Thomas, the Bedtime Devo Mama. A while back, I did a science experiment with my kids that turned out to be the perfect object lesson on trusting God. All you need is a plastic zip-top bag filled with water, several pencils, and someone who's willing to trust you. Here's what you say. Do you trust me? Do you trust that I won't spill this entire bag of water on your head? What about
You literally can't from the place that you are to where I am. Like, you can't. Let's continue and see where the experiment is going.
if I poke a hole in this bag with this pencil? Do you still trust me? Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna poke a hole in the bag with this pencil, and you are not going to get wet. Do you still trust me? Did you get wet? It seems impossible, doesn't it? Trusting me in this moment makes no sense. And yet, here we are with a bag full of water and two holes.
I don't think you would even consider that a poke. It's more of a stab. And it went all the way through. And then you left it there. The poke would be like, touch it, and then release it. That's a whole stab. Anyways, let's keep going.
Without any leakage. Here's the science behind that. This plastic bag is a polymer. A polymer is a large molecule made up of many repeating units. When I poked the pencil through, the polymer simply rearranged itself to close the gap between the pencil and the bag, keeping the water inside. Would you trust that I won't get you wet even if I poked another pencil through this bag?
I mean, based on the explanation, I would trust that it would not be, water won't be leaking on me. But that's because of the already explanation that you've given. And we can see the water, we can see the pencil, we can see you, we can see all of this. How does this apply to the invisible sky daddy that Christians have? I don't know. But I guess we shall continue with the experiment and see where this leads us.
How about another? How about another? How about
Actually, that's pretty cool. I want to try now.
another? Sometimes in life we can feel like we're getting poked with holes. Friends move away, family members get sick, our pet dies, pandemics happen. It hurts, but trusting God is a bit like trusting that you wouldn't get wet if I held this bag of water over you. We can trust God, even when it seems like everything is going horribly wrong. He loves and cares for us. Sometimes our kids.
Okay, so that's a terrible analogy, a terrible science experiment. Because you were supposed to say, oh God, you can trust God when you can't see Him. We can see the bag. We can see you. Who is the person that we're trusting? We can't see God. There have been claims of Christians saying they can talk to this God, but many of them are getting different messages from this God, which is just one source. One source. So how are you getting different message from the same source? It doesn't make sense. Just a terrible analogy.
Need more than an object lesson to know that God is trustworthy. And for that, I turn to my favorite teaching method, stories. Science teaches us about polymers, but science also teaches us that stories stay in our brains far longer than a theological talk and sometimes even longer than a memorized Bible verse. Our brains are literally wired for story, which is why we find so many of them in the Bible. So here's a story for you. In Quinn Says Goodbye, little Quinn befriends an injured firefly and nurses him back to health. Blink becomes her pet. But one day, Blink is gone and Quinn is naturally quite upset. She flies through the forest looking for her friend. When she gives up, she discovers that her mama was right behind her the whole time. Her mama shares that it's okay to be upset when things are hard. God doesn't always stop bad things from happening, but he does promise that he will always be with you and he will never stop being your friend. There is a
You've never seen God, you've never talked to God, you've never done any of that. You don't even know if he exists, and we're to believe that he's right there, always there with you. This is a terrible lesson for kids. The idea that you have this invisible guy that's looking over you, protecting you, when there's nothing there. There's no evidence of anything there. It's all just in your head. And believing that has so much mental, psychological thing that happens to you. You start thinking like, oh yeah, I'm protected and feel invincible in a sense. Oh, he's always there even when things are going wrong. But he's supposedly supposed to be good. That doesn't make any sense.
free teacher's guide for this book, which you can download at the link below. It has the instructions for the object lesson, discussion questions, a craft, and further resources to go with the book. You can grab Quinn Says Goodbye from Amazon.
And that's where we stop when they start their dumb ads. You see, this doesn't make any sense. And I keep saying that because it doesn't make any sense. This shouldn't be taught to children because the entire idea is believing something just because I tell you to believe it. Believe in something just on faith. You haven't showed the kid that God even exists. The analogy fails because they know you exist and they could touch you. They could actually have a conversation with you, not with God. That's just them talking to themselves in their heads. That comes with a baggage, thinking you have this invisible sky daddy. That comes with a psychological baggage of its own. Oh, what's the point of doing this? God already got me. It's just so dumb. That shouldn't be how anyone live their life. But Christians would teach your kids this bullshit with 274k views. It's all just a lie. It's all in your head. And this is how you indoctrinate a kid into believing things like this. Well, that's all I have for you today. I thought I was gonna keep it PG-13. Anyways, thank you all for watching and have a lovely day.